Well, what's up again there, guys? Brian here at 3TR, and welcome to another awesome episode of Top List Tuesday, where I will be doing a top list video going over an idea that I, or one of you guys out there, has requested me to do. Now, this particular episode was actually requested by a good friend of mine, fellow YouTuber and fellow PlayStation fan, Mr. Gizmortech, and he wanted me to do a list of my top favorite lists of PlayStation Platinum trophies that I've earned. Now, I've actually been trophy hunting since, I believe, 2009, when the system was actually put into place, and though I don't have as many trophies as I know I could have earned due to my current work schedule, I do what I can the time that I have. So, starting off real simple, these are the top 10 personal favorite platinum trophies that I have earned. Starting off real simple with number 10. My number 10 platinum trophy actually comes from really the first game I ever actually earned a platinum trophy from, and that was from Uncharted Drake's Fortune. Now, in terms of how I felt about this particular trophy after all these years, there really isn't too much to say. In order to get this trophy, it really just requires you to beat the game on multiple difficulties, killing enemies using specific weapons and specific takedowns, but really the most time-consuming trophy to earn in order to get the platinum is simply going throughout all the chapters and finding all the hidden treasures. So it really did set the standards of exactly what it means to be a completionist, of going so far and spending so much time in order to find and do literally everything there is to do in a game in order to earn a platinum trophy. And so really, in many cases, you could say that Uncharted Drake's Fortune's platinum trophy really was the standard. So that's why it's number 10 on my list. My number 9 platinum trophy is really a no-brainer, and it comes from Michael Jackson The Experience. Now, anyone who has known me long enough knows just how big of a fan I am of Michael Jackson and of dancing games. I mean, I wanted to play this game so badly that I actually bought a Nintendo Wii just to play this game, only for me to find out a few months later that they were going to be releasing it on PlayStation 3, and I actually went out of my way to buy multiple microphones, multiple Move controllers just to get all the group trophies. So the fact that I went so far as to buy extra equipment just so I can get all the group trophies really tells you how much I really want to platinum this sucker, and I'm proud to do it. And I still play this game to this day, and that's why it is really my number 9 favorite trophy that I've ever earned. My number 8 favorite platinum trophy actually comes from probably one of the most underrated and most unappreciated additions to the Prince of Persia franchise, this one being 2008's Prince of Persia. Now, the reason why I'm really proud to have earned this trophy when I did was simply due to the fact that out of all of the games in the entire franchise, this one really stands apart and plays unlike any other in the franchise before or since. I absolutely love the new gameplay style and the new art direction that it took, and the story is simply magical in my opinion. When this game first came out, many actually compared it to really being a living painting, and I have to agree in every way, sense, and form. And with every trophy that I earned towards my goal, I got to see the world completely transform, and when I actually ended up getting the Platinum Trophy, it was kind of a sad experience for me because I knew I had to move on to other games, and this really was, in my opinion, one of the most artistic games I've ever played. And I'm actually quite happy I earned it when I did, because if I tried to play this game now and get the trophy nowadays, I simply wouldn't have the time to invest as much time into the game as I need to in order to get this trophy. So really, that's why it ranks as number 8 on my list. My number 7 favorite platinum trophy comes from Spec Ops: The Line. Now, Spec Ops: The Line is probably one of the darkest and grittiest games I've ever played, and though it kind of falls semi into the category of being somewhat Uncharted-like, it has much more depth and difficulty to it. It required multiple playthroughs and having to experience multiple different endings and attempt to make different decisions. And so really, what made this particular trophy different was that I got to experience this very, very difficult and deep game in multiple different directions with multiple different storylines, and it really did make earning this trophy truly worth it, despite me being infuriated at times at how many times I died on the hardest difficulty. But despite that, it is well worth the challenge, and that's why it is number 7 on this list. My number 6 platinum trophy actually comes from my favorite installment of the Dead Space franchise, that being Dead Space 2. Now, what makes this Platinum Trophy really stand out in my list is that, in my opinion, it was by far the riskiest one to get. What I mean by that is that there were many trophies that you could only get in one specific playthrough, and if you happen to miss them in that one playthrough, then you would have to start the game over all the way from the beginning. And if you attempt to play any of the Dead Space games, especially this one on the hardest difficulty, that right there can be a nightmarish experience. I mean, you try playing Dead Space 2 on the hardest difficulty when you're only granted 3 saves over the period of a 15-hour campaign, and if you happen to die at any point and forget to save, well then all that time you've spent has been completely wasted, and well, let's just say you're going to be doing a lot of swearing for a good period of time. And that's why it's number 6 on my list. My number 5 Platinum Trophy comes from Heavy Rain, which to this day remains to be one of my all-time favorite PlayStation exclusive games that came out during the PlayStation 3 era. Now, what really made this Platinum Trophy feel very rewarding to me is the fact that I had to do so many playthroughs of it because of all of its endings. There are so many choices and twists and turns that this game can take that it really does take someone with a lot of time in order to achieve it. So anyone who really doesn't have a good amount of time or isn't the type who's really focused on playing story-driven games is really not the type of game that I would suggest you play. But for someone like me who is a story-driven gamer, Heavy Rain fit perfectly for my taste of gaming, and that's why I didn't mind spending so much time going through all the different endings in order to get this Platinum Trophy, and it felt very rewarding to me when I finally got it on September 24th, 2010, and that's why it's number 5 on my list. My number 4 Platinum Trophy really has a special place in my heart because it comes from the PlayStation HD re-release of the first Ratchet & Clank game. Now, Ratchet & Clank really is one of my all-time favorite franchises of all time because, for me at least, it's one of not only the greatest platforming franchises I've ever played, it was the first game I ever got to play on my PlayStation 2 for the first time. And so having an opportunity to replay it again with trophy support was simply a dream come true, and I'm looking even more forward to playing it again later this year on the PlayStation 4, along with the new movie that is soon to come with it. And that's why it remains as number 4 on my list. My number 3 Platinum Trophy comes from God of War 3. And it ranks really so high on my list for not only being the first game in the franchise to actually support trophies, but really starting the tradition of how I handle all my God of War games from that point on. Since this game came out, all of the previous God of War games had been re-released with trophy support, and it really was a message that, heck, if I could platinum this game, I could platinum all of those other games, and I have. It's really the kind of tradition I've set for myself that when a new God of War game ever comes out, it is my sworn duty as a God of War fan to have to platinum out. There's no choice. That may not be the same thing for a lot of other franchises I have on this list. When it comes to God of War games, if it comes out, you know damn right I'm going to have to platinum this sucker out no matter how much time it takes. And that's why it's number 3 on this list. My number 2 favorite Platinum Trophy comes from the best installment in the Batman Arkham franchise, and that one being Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, for me personally, Arkham Asylum really is the perfect blend of everything you need, and not just a great game, but a great trophy hunting experience. The difficulty of the game really isn't too frustrating, even on the hardest difficulties. There's a good amount of variety in terms of objectives that you have to achieve in order to get each trophy, and really the most time-consuming element of this game is the Riddler trophies, which, since it's secluded on an island like Arkham Asylum, it doesn't feel too expansive. And really, out of all the Arkham games, this one's the only one I've ever been able to force myself to actually platinum. The one element that has really stopped me from platinuming all the other Arkham games is really the Riddler trophies. I mean, as the games got bigger, they were just getting too many of them to get, and they started getting ridiculous to the point where they were becoming puzzles, and I just don't have the effort or the time to really invest in getting all these Riddler trophies. But for this one, it was the perfect blend of everything you need and well deserving in order to get this Platinum Trophy, and that's why it ranks as number 2 on this list. Now, my number 1 favorite Platinum Trophy really stands apart, because out of all the Platinum Trophies that I have ever earned, this is the only one that I would not think for a second to even attempt trying to get again. because of how frustrating, how difficult, how infuriating, how insane it was to get this trophy. That if anything ever happened to this trophy, I'm gonna lose it. And that comes from Call of Duty World at War. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this, people. This is without question the hardest trophy I have ever earned, ever. I have never played a game so frustrating, so difficult, so much planning went into even getting this trophy that it really came down to a number of elements. Number one, buying all the zombie maps and getting all the trophies for those maps. Number two, playing this game on veteran difficulty is downright monstrous, and there is one level that has haunted me for years. It took me months to get past this one section of this one level to the point where I have named it AKA Grenade Alley. And anyone who has even attempted to go through this knows what I'm talking about. If you, by some miracle chance, get this trophy, you deserve a hug or a cuddle or a real trophy because it is insane. This is without question the hardest Call of Duty Platinum trophy to earn, and it is not worth a second go. And that is why I am proud to have gotten it once, because I damn sure am not going to try getting it a second time. And there you have it. That's my list. Now, I'm really curious to know, what platinum trophies have you earned over your time as a trophy hunter that you feel most proud of? Share your list with me in the comments down below, and if you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to check me in my future videos. And if you actually have a great idea that would make for a great top list video for next Tuesday, be sure you share your idea also with me in the comments down below too. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I will see you next time.